Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, as usual, many updates, many news, many stories every single day. I remind you to be part of the family here on YouTube. Every single day you have the opportunity to get all the informations, even during the World Cup. And so let's jump into it together and let's start talking about the breaking news from the morning in Europe, late night in the US, after a crazy World Cup day, especially with Portugal winning the game against Croatia in a crazy ending of the match. It's important to mention that the news is coming from Germany because it's over between Julian Nagelsmann and the German national team. The coach is out, game over. So after a terrible World Cup, Germany performed very bad in their group and then lost against Paraguay. Unacceptable for Germany, the general performances from this World Cup. Julian Nagelsmann, after the defeat against Paraguay, went public and said, I would like to stay, I would like to continue, I would like to build my own project also for the next years, and so Nations League, Euros, and let's see what happens after. But the answer from the federation has been completely different. Nagelsmann and Germany part ways with immediate effect. It's over, and for Julian Nagelsmann, unlucky timing, because let me tell you one thing, if Nagelsmann was going to be free on the manager's market this summer before the World Cup, probably today he was going to have a job in Premier League, because there were Premier League clubs really keen and interested in Julian Nagelsmann as ideal candidate for their job. But Nagelsmann was obviously busy with the German national team, didn't want to entertain any negotiations while he was busy to prepare the World Cup, and now the World Cup is over, and after a few weeks, Julian Nagelsmann is out. What's going to happen with the German national team? Remember the name I gave you. The day after the elimination of Germany, I told you, keep close eye to Jurgen Klopp, because Klopp would be open to returning to management, and Klopp is tempted by the German national team. Klopp would be open to that possibility. Now it's on the federation to present the project, to discuss with Klopp. He's busy with Red Bull Group, of course, so they need to have some time to fix everything eventually, but Jurgen Klopp is the top target for the German national team job. So a big story to follow, not just for Germans, but because to have Jurgen Klopp back in football, first of all, would be a fantastic news. Klopp, one of the biggest faces as a coach in the world of football, a fantastic character, a fantastic coach, always very positive, always playing fantastic football, a serial winner. So to have Klopp back would be fantastic. Then, let's follow the situation. Let's follow also the situation of the Ajax I was telling you last night, because today the deal is expected to get done. Manchester City are now closing in on the deal to sign Jeremy Monga from Leicester City, one of the most interesting young talents. I say young because this kid is 16 years old, but Manchester City are ready to pay up to £10 million to overtake Arsenal in the race for Jeremy Monga. Arsenal last night communicated to Leicester and to the agents of the player. He's a talented winger, a player with big potential. Arsenal were in very advanced talks, but then they communicated last night to the agents of the player again and to Leicester City that they are not going to proceed. They are not going to send a new bid. They were very close to signing Jeremy Monga, then the deal didn't happen, and now Manchester City expected to close the deal and sign one of the most interesting prospects in England, Jeremy Monga. Again, is about the development. Man City presented the project to the boy and to his family and to his agents. Maresca heavily involved in this deal, because Enzo Maresca was presenting himself how he would see Jeremy Monga in Manchester City in 2 years. Obviously, there are some steps of development, but they really believe in the player, and so Jeremy Monga to Manchester City expected to be. And here we go quite soon, any moment, maybe while you are watching this video. Another important story, guys, a very important story, let me say, is coming out of the French national team camp. Because Bradley Barcola speaks in a press conference, and when he was asked about his future, what are you going to do in this summer transfer window? Barcola says, I'm busy with the World Cup, I'm focused on the World Cup. After that, I don't know what's going to happen. Guys, I tell you one thing, if a player wants to stay, if a player is sure he's going to stay, a player is going to speak with the press conference, interview, whatever, and say, I'm staying at Paris Saint-Germain, We won everything for 2 years in a row, so no reason to leave. Barcola didn't say that. Barcola didn't say that because saying that Barcola is not for sale is not what I'm told. I did that in a video already in April, then in May, then in June, then 2 days ago. I told you, many people are saying Barcola is not leaving, Paris Saint-Germain is not for sale. My position is different. I feel that for Barcola there could be movement, and I always told you this. Now, to see the player opening doors to a different future is obviously a point to this story. Now, to sign Barcola, you still need a lot of money. You still need to convince Paris Saint-Germain in terms of financials, but the player is hoping to live in Paris Saint-Germain. This is the reality. The new contract was already in mind 1 year ago, summer 2025, but there was no agreement over the last 10 months between Paris Saint-Germain, Barcola and his agents, and it means that in case of big proposal, there could be movement. Then, again, it has to be a big proposal. So it's on Liverpool, for example. Liverpool have Barcola on top of their list, so Barcola is always on Liverpool list. I told you this for months. I always told you, don't forget Barcola, don't forget Barcola, don't forget Barcola, and now here we are, with Barcola as a serious target for Liverpool. But, obviously, depends financially what they can do in order to reach an agreement with Paris Saint-Germain. So we have to keep close eye to Barcola and Liverpool. And also, for Arsenal, many of you ask me, could be a target for Arsenal. For Arsenal, the number one target remains Morgan Rogers. If they can reach an agreement with Aston Villa, they will sign Morgan Rogers. If they can't, Barcola could be an option. But in this moment, I feel Morgan Rogers is the most serious candidate to become the new winger for Mikel Arteta, also because Arsenal made good progress on player side recently. Then, two more things I wanted to mention, guys. One is about Cody Gakpo. Keep an eye on Tottenham for Cody Gakpo, because Tottenham have interest in the player. Then, I can tell you that Liverpool, as of today, beginning of July, are not opening doors to an exit. So at the moment, Liverpool are not telling Gakpo, okay, you can leave, are not telling Tottenham, okay, let's negotiate. This is not happening now. So at the moment, the door is closed from Liverpool. But we have to see later on this summer, in case Tottenham really open talks by sending a proposal. At the moment, is an interest. If they send a proposal, we have to see what's going to happen there. So it's a story to keep an eye on, eventually. It's not something guaranteed at this stage. And then, important to mention also the quotes of Javier Pastore, the agent of Enzo Fernandez, the former midfielder, El Flaco. Javier Pastore speaks about Enzo Fernandez and mentions several times in several interviews that there is a possibility for him to explore a move away from Chelsea. He mentioned also Real Madrid interest. But guys, on Real Madrid, I know, obviously there are quotes from the agent, and you can take the quotes, he can say anything. But from what I'm told, Real Madrid consider Enzo Fernandez one among 5 options in midfield, first point. Second point, 0 contacts with Chelsea so far, so club to club has not even started yet. So forget the Cucurella fast deal, because club to club has not started even yet. And third point, this story at the moment depends on exits. So Real Madrid to sign a new midfielder, and could be Enzo, as could be one of the other 4 they are considering, in this case depends on exit. A player has to leave, and let's see who, because Ceballos already left, Nico Paz left, but I mean probably among those players who are part of the rotation in Jose Mourinho's mind, so part of the squad. In that case, who Real Madrid decide to pick. So this is the sense of the story. Together, guys, as always, to keep you posted on absolutely everything. Remember, even during the World Cup, here you can find all the transfer news. So, like this video, turn on the notification bell, be part of the family, and we talk about managers. We start with managers, because yes, it's July now, but there is still managers movement. First news, confirmation of the exclusive story from a few days ago, Vitor Pereira out of Nottingham Forest, the big surprise in Premier League, and the new coach, from what I'm hearing, is going to be Oliver Glasner. Contract signed today, 3-year deal, the highest salary in history of Nottingham Forest. And so all done for Oliver Glasner to become the new Forest boss. And it's here we go confirmed. Ange Postecoglou is back in the game, also former Nottingham Forest manager, a very short spell for Postecoglou Forest last season, but now he's back at work, and he's going to be the new head coach of Al Nassr. With Cristiano Ronaldo, the Saudi champions have decided to appoint Ange Postecoglou to replace Jorge Jesus. 2-year contract, and here we go also in this case. And then, guys, it's not a surprise for you. I told you before even the confirmation of what happened with Julian Nagelsmann, but now Nagelsmann is out of the German national team, and Jurgen Klopp is expected to become the next head coach of the German national team. And here we go is coming soon. Contacts have started. The contract is being discussed with Klopp and with his agent. There is a release clause into the contract of Klopp at Red Bull Group to get the green light and work with the German national team. So it's a specific clause for the German national team. And now Klopp close to becoming the new coach of Germany ahead of Nations League, Euros, and the next World Cup. So Klopp back to work. Let's talk also about players, guys, and I'm happy you follow me here on YouTube, because I think if you are a friend here on YouTube, on my channel, following my videos, you know how many times I told you in the last month how all the reports on Enzo Fernandez and Real Madrid were simply not true. I told you, 0 talks, 0 negotiations, 0 personal terms agreed, 0 conversations. The only thing happening was an internal discussion at Real Madrid about 5 midfielders. But these midfielders are not joining in any case, because Real Madrid are waiting to sell one. As soon as Real Madrid sell a midfielder, they can go for a new one. So this was the strategy, but they never started talks with Chelsea for Enzo Fernandez. They never planned to do that, and they never agreed personal terms with Enzo. So that was the message coming from me here. And now official statement from Real Madrid confirming that they will not sign Enzo Fernandez. Real Madrid say these are fake news, we never negotiated anything, and we are not going to sign Enzo. So now you have the official confirmation of what I've been telling you for some time, that Real Madrid are not in conversations for Enzo Fernandez. Just to clarify one thing, guys, can Enzo Fernandez go to Manchester City? Many of you asking me if they can go with for Enzo after Elliot Anderson in midfield. My understanding is that Manchester City are not in conversation for Enzo Fernandez as well. At the moment, it's cold between Enzo and Man City. I know some colleagues have reported about that already months ago and in the recent weeks, but I'm told Man City are not in conversations with Enzo Fernandez. Talking about Chelsea, guys, I also wanted to mention something on the Granit Xhaka story, because the feeling from Sunderland and the clear message coming from Sunderland is that Granit Xhaka is not for sale and that he's gonna end up staying at the club this summer. This is what Sunderland are saying in a very clear way. They've always been convinced over the recent days that despite the Chelsea attack, Chelsea bid and all the rest, Xhaka was gonna stay at the club, continue and play European football. And this is the message from Sunderland, very strong. At the moment, as of now, while I'm recording this video, Chelsea are yet to give up. Chelsea are yet to accept this. So Chelsea still believe that they have a chance to sign Granit Xhaka this summer. Then we have to see, because at the moment Sunderland are very strong on their position. We have to see what's going to happen next. But at the moment the situation is this. Sunderland consider the story over and they don't want Granit Xhaka to go. On the other side, Chelsea still keep doors open to this possibility. So let's wait and see what happens there. Meanwhile, Chelsea sign a new talent, and is Alfie Osborne. Exclusive news coming from Hearts in Scotland. He's a defender from the Scottish national team under 19. Deal done, signed today. The player had his medical, and so new talent for Chelsea future is Alfie Osborne. Don't forget that Chelsea keep working for Pep Echevarria, the left back from Rayo Vallecano. So that story remains on. I will tell you more soon. Then, guys, about stories of the recent hours. Here we go, coming from Barcelona to Amsterdam, because Marc-André ter Stegen is leaving Barca and is joining Amsterdam, of course, Ajax, on a loan deal from Barca. It was never a permanent transfer, no chance. With his salary, it was going to be impossible for Ajax to sign ter Stegen on a permanent deal. But the deal is now agreed on loan, so the player will be joining again on a loan deal from Barcelona. The majority of the salary will be covered by Ajax, and so Ter Stegen to Ajax is now, here we go, waiting for his medical and contract signing. So new chapter for Ter Stegen, who will work with the manager who wanted him the most, Mikel, who already at Girona wanted Ter Stegen, and now will have him also at Ajax, also Jordi Cruyff. Crucial to drive this deal. Then Nathan Ake leaving the Premier League and joining Fenerbahce, one of the surprises of the deal. The deal is agreed and is done. Nathan Ake is joining Fenerbahce from Manchester City. The deal is agreed for £7 million plus 1.5 in add-ons. So Ake ready to make his move to Fenerbahce. Why the deal has been announced by Fenerbahce and not by Manchester City? Because City insists there are still some details on payment terms to clarify. Fenerbahce believe that the deal is in place with the player and with City, so they announced. Man City not yet, but what means is that at the end of the day Nathan Ake will be a Fenerbahce player this summer for sure, so the verbal agreement is in place. And then guys, just to close for today's video, I wanted to mention also Crescencio Somerville, because for the Dutch winger from West Ham, of course there will be a move this summer. We had reports over the last 24 hours about Manchester United being in advanced talks to sign, or opening talks to sign, Crescencio Somerville. Guys, my understanding is the following. Man United focus is on midfielders. Man United want to sign midfielders. In midfield they want to do something. For Somerville, they appreciate the player. He's a player under consideration. I told you 2 weeks ago. Under consideration, that's it. I'm told that negotiations club to club or with the agents of the player have not started as of now. If that will happen later on, I will let you know. But Man United are not in active talks now for Crescencio Somerville. He's a player under consideration, but again, we have to understand also what happens with Rashford. Because as of today, Rashford is at Manchester United, and if Rashford doesn't leave, of course, the situation of Crescencio Somerville could be more complicated. So that's the status of the story. Guys, as always, I remind you to like this video, to turn on the notification bell, to subscribe to the channel, and remember, comment as always. Let me know your opinion on all these stories, from Crescencio Somerville to Enzo Fernandez, all the managers, Jurgen Klopp, Glasner, Ange Postecoglou, but also Granit Xhaka, Ter Stegen, full of news, full of stories. Let me know your opinion here. As always, subscribe every day here with all the latest, and thank you, as always, for being here on YouTube together.